Hello and welcome back. Now that you're here, we can start discussing an ability that everyone keeping up with the manga has seen a million times by now. Reverse Curse Technique. The healing sorcery that allows for titans like Sukuna to shrug off even the mighty Hollow Purple technique, which itself is a product of positive energy in a way. But anyways, without further delay, let's get into it. Reverse Curse Technique, or RCT, is the primary method of healing for Jujutsu sorcerers. But in keeping with the grim nature of Jujutsu Kaisen, only the most talented characters in the verse can use it on command. RCT functions by the user gathering cursed energy from their core and transferring it to their brain, where they can multiply cursed energy using two different quantities of the same negative energy. And in keeping with basic math, the product of the negative energy being multiplied by another negative energy results in positive energy that can then be used for a variety of things. But all you really need to know about positive energy for now is that it's at least twice as expensive to use as normal cursed energy, and typically is the exact opposite of cursed energy. Where cursed energy is the essence of cursed spirits and is primarily used to harm humans, positive energy is deadly to curses and harmless or curative to humans. RCT is a highly complex technique that even genius prodigies like Geto and Gojo fail to grasp for about half their lives. This complexity results in only 13 characters being shown to be able to use it at all, with a substantial portion of them only being able to use it due to their technique, like Yuji, Choso, and Hakari. The biggest obstacle to effectively using RCT is being able to replace the lost blood from the injuries, as even if you heal the flesh and bones, you won't be able to survive or fight after sustaining massive wounds and blood loss. Characters with blood manipulation can easily sidestep this issue by converting their energy into the blood needed to fill their healed appendages. The typical application of RCT is to heal minor injuries, replenish blood loss, and refresh internal organs. The exact level, power, and speed of a sorcerer's RCT is based on a variety of factors, such as their knowledge of medical anatomy, their cursed energy output, and their precision and skill at applying the positive energy. Depending on the sorcerer's balance of those three main factors, they could accomplish insane feats like instantly regrowing lost limbs or organs, reviving people from the dead, curing themselves of deadly toxins and poisons, and even recovering damage dealt to their very soul. Those three main factors each have at least one character who embodies them. For instance, Choso and Shoko have incredibly powerful healing abilities due to the former's intuitive knowledge of the human body and the latter's medical expertise, despite the fact that neither of them have particularly great output compared to the top tiers in the verse. Next are Hakari and Yuta, who both lack real medical knowledge and precision, but still manage to have some of the best healing in the verse due to their massive amounts of cursed energy that they can apply to the process. And finally, Gojo and Sukuna are so precise and used to healing themselves that they can maintain their brain and heart respectively despite intense stress or the complete absence of the organ in Sukuna's case. And both of them can operate intricate brain surgery in the middle of a battle with each other, and neither of them expend a noticeable amount of their cursed energy reserves in order to accomplish it. A strong example of just how taxing positive energy can be to generate and apply is the Sendai colony arc, where Yuta was trying to beat the cockroach curse without revealing to the other sorcerers that he could use positive energy. The end result of this battle was Yuta becoming completely overwhelmed by Kororushi, and he was nearly fatally wounded in addition to being infested by the curse of the life-festering blade. But ultimately, he was able to rid himself of his injuries using reverse curse technique, cleanse the infestation, and directly transmit positive energy into the cockroach curse's face, killing it instantly. This process still took quite a toll on Yuta's energy reserves, and he almost completely ran out of energy just a few chapters later due to his poor efficiency, even though he is commended for his enormous cursed energy capacity. So basically, even if you have the most energy of the entire modern era, you still have to worry about reverse curse technique burning through your power reserves if you're not careful. Reverse curse technique can be so precise that it can actually fully regenerate an isolated piece of a human brain even even before its destruction affects the cognition of the user, as shown by Sukuna and Gojo destroying a portion of their brain near the right frontal cortex in order to effectively reset their burnt-out techniques so that they could use several domain expansions consecutively. This does, however, begin to reveal the only hard limit to the power of reverse curse technique. In order for reverse curse technique to properly heal something, there needs to be a pathway to its target. There are more blatant examples of this, like Kashimo trying to destroy Hikari's head, or Sukuna cutting Gojo in half, thus separating his core and his brain. But this principle is true even on as small a scale as neural pathways. After quickly destroying and reforming their brains enough, Sukuna and Gojo damaged their neural pathways to the point that they could no longer reach their black box with positive energy. The only way for them to re-establish those pathways was to achieve the euphoric epiphany of Black Flash, which has always been shown to completely change how a sorcerer thinks and processes cursed energy. So it's interesting to see evidence that landing black flashes literally changes your neurology, which is shown to us again when it managed to unlock a new technique within Yuji in the middle of a battle. And as we know, techniques are stored within your brain. On top of this limit to reverse curse technique, there is still the weakness to poisons. We see that even exceptionally skilled sorcerers like Uraume can be at least partially incapacitated by poisons being introduced to their bloodstream and internals. This process makes sense when you consider that sealing the wounds of a body still won't purify its blood or organs. In order to get around this weakness, a sorcerer needs to be able to cleanse the poison that circulates their body, which is a drastically more difficult task than basic applications of this already complex technique. Reverse curse technique can also be used to heal others. However, it is incredibly rare and is said to be very inconsistent, although we basically never see it fail. There are only 5 characters who can output positive healing energy, namely Shoko, Yuta, Sukuna, Rika, and Megumi's Round D or Shikigami, with an honorable mention to Maharaga, whose weapon outputs positive energy, but they are incapable of healing others unless they hypothetically adapted to be able to, but I digress. It is said that outputted healing is about half as effective as healing oneself due to possible rejection from the receiving body and the inefficiency of transfer, making the process of healing others very inconsistent by comparison. In rare cases, a user who can output their positive energy can actually resurrect the dead body, provided that their soul hasn't passed on yet and their body is unharmed enough to support the resurrected creature. In Sukuna's case, at least several hours and possibly even multiple days had passed before Yuji was brought back from death. The reason why I assume multiple days had passed is because Gojo was on vacation to Africa when Yuji died, but yet he was present for Yuji's resurrection. It is unknown exactly how long a body can last before it can no longer be revived. However, we can be sure that Yuji was actually dead in Yuta's case due to the objective rules of the binding vow made with the higher-ups considering him to be dead. So it's entirely possible that a skilled enough reverse curse technique user like Sukuna could just revive his vessel an unlimited number of times by hiding in his innate domain. As referenced earlier, positive energy can also immediately kill or otherwise massively injure curses, as they are living negative energy. The healing of humans and the harming of curses are only the basic applications of positive energy, however. Much like cursed energy, they can still be used to fuel innate curse techniques. And just as positive energy is more expensive and effectively the opposite of negative energy, a technique fueled by positive energy takes at least twice as much energy to cast, but it inverts the usual effect of the technique and typically doubles the output power as well. This process is called curse technique reversal, and the 2 most notable cases of it being used in the series are Gojo's reversal red and Kenjaku's anti-gravity system reversal. Gojo's standard technique is called blue, and it allows him to create a negative space, and then the world will violently suck in surrounding space to fill itself. But instead of creating negative space to pull things, the red technique oversaturates a single point in space so that it violently overflows and expands forcefully in a particular direction, effectively pushing twice as hard as blue pulls. The same principle is true for Kenjaku, who can use the technique of Yuji's mom's body in order to negate the effects of gravity in a small range around himself. He most famously used this technique to survive a black hole, but he much more commonly used the reversal to greatly increase the gravity around him, to deal damage and stifle the attacks of others. As you can tell from their showings, technique reversals are very powerful abilities, and it's quite disappointing that we've barely seen any throughout the long run of Jujutsu Kaisen. In conclusion, reverse curse technique is a cornerstone of the power system, and one of the many ways that a sorcerer can demonstrate partial mastery of their abilities as a Jujutsu sorcerer. And when engaging in high-stakes Jujutsu battles, where attacks can instantly kill or maim even the greatest warriors, it's nice to know that the characters who wield true power in this cursed world of negativity are those who fill their brains with positive energy and let it fuel them. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'd appreciate it if you let me know how you liked the explanation video concept and what other things you'd like to hear my take on in the comments. But either way, I hope you stay safe and take it easy.